In this video tutorial, we'll be covering backgrounds and masks. Using backgrounds and masks in your signage presentation will allow you to enrich your viewer's experience. The Signage Studio includes many preloaded resources which you can use to build your backgrounds and masks. These include video loops as well as vector images. We will be using layered screen division to set this up. So let's begin. So to start things off, we'll first create a screen division that includes a background. This means that we'll have to create a single screen division that simply lays below every other screen division that we have set up. So let's go ahead and demonstrate this. We'll go ahead and add our new screen division. We'll just go ahead and call it screen division 5. And I'll start drawing. Now at this point, I need to know how many screen divisions I want. So let's say I want to go ahead and set up 4 screen divisions. So I'll go ahead and set one up for my background, which I'll go ahead and put all the way on the full size of my screen, and I'll go ahead and rename this to be my background. And notice that right now it has an order number of 3, which actually means that this is the topmost screen division. So that's really not what I want. I want this to be the background, so I want this to be all the way on the bottom. So I'll go ahead and click on it and drag it all the way down. Now you notice if I'll go ahead and click on it one more time, now it has an order number of 0. So that's what I want. I want it to be all the way on the bottom. Now at this point I can go and set up my other screen divisions. And notice that these screen divisions are actually going to sit on top of my background. So next, now that my screen divisions are fully drawn and I'm happy with the configuration, I can go to resources and look for some background resources that I want to use. So we'll go ahead and click on the plus sign right here and go to from shared. Now you'll notice that there's a few directories over here. So we're going to go ahead and switch to the backgrounds. And you see that we have a lot of different backgrounds that we can choose from. If you double click on any of them, you'll be able to preview the background. So if I'll just go ahead and scroll down and pick one of these backgrounds, let's say this one right here, and press OK, this will import this background into my system. Now notice that this background is actually transparent, meaning that anything that's behind it will still be viewable. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and click on File Save. This will actually upload the resource, the background resource, onto the server so I can start using it. And now let's go ahead and switch to campaigns. Next, I'll go ahead and add a new timeline. I'll just go ahead and call this my timeline 3. Click on next. And I'll select my screen division 5 that we drew earlier. Now notice if I click on my screen division, you'll notice that just below my channel 0, there's another channel, channel 3, that's actually a lighter blue. That's going to be our background channel. So now I'll go ahead and add all the resources. Go to scroll down and add my background to channel 3. Go and double click on it to make sure that's the resource I want, and that's fine. And for the other channels, I can just put whatever resources I want to play there. Maybe an image right here. Okay, so now we have all our resources and we have the background all the way on the bottom. And at this point we're done and we can start viewing our presentation. However, there's one more thing I wanted to show you real quick. The background has a transparent middle area. All this area right here is actually transparent. So what's going to happen if you run your signage presentation, this transparent area is actually going to show as black because that's the default color for the screen division. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and set a different color for the background. So let's go ahead and switch to backgrounds. Go ahead and select maybe something like this. So the beauty of this is that now we have a bottom background that we were able to draw in. So next we're going to go ahead and show you again backgrounds, but this time we want to use a video loop as the background. So let's go ahead and again make some more room here, and I'll go ahead and delete my background and go back to resources, and again click on the plus sign from shared, and this time switch to right here to video loops. Now notice that we have a lot of really nice video loops that you can use. So if we just preview one of them, double click on it, it's loading right now. So let's go ahead and get something a little bit slower, maybe something like this. So that's nice. It's nice and smooth moving waves. So I'll go ahead and click on it again and click on OK to select it, and click on File Save again to upload the resource onto the server. And now to use the video loop as a background, go ahead and switch to campaigns. Go ahead and scroll down to my channel 3, and I will use the flash video as a background. And now that's going to be right here on the bottom where channel 3 is, below channel 0, channel 1, and channel 2. Now using backgrounds can sometimes be a little bit difficult, so let me go ahead and show you why. I'll go ahead and switch back to my resources. Again, go to from shared. So I'll go ahead and select this background right here. And using this as a background can be a little bit challenging because we actually have to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and possibly 7 screen divisions and position them in exact XY coordinates so they fit nicely with the background. And this can be a little bit challenging. Also, if you position a video right here in this area, and the video has those dark areas on top and the bottom that sometimes videos have in order to maintain aspect ratio, you'll see those dark areas and there's no way around it. However, with masks you can actually hide these areas. So let's go ahead and demonstrate how to use masks. So let's go ahead and close this, and now I'll go ahead and switch into vectors, actually backgrounds and masks. And you'll notice that we have a lot of different masks to use. And there's something actually quite unique with all these masks is that they have transparency built right onto them, kind of like the first one that we used. And I specifically used the first image to show you that you can use these images both as backgrounds and masks. So if I, for example, select this one, we can use this image as a background if you want to. But because it has transparency built right into these boxes, we can actually use these as masks, and that becomes a lot more powerful, easier to use, and as I mentioned, you can actually hide a certain portion of the content if you want. So let's go ahead and select we'll go ahead and select actually this one right here, or rather here, this one is a good one. So we'll go ahead and select this and press OK, and go ahead and click on File Save to upload that image onto our server. So now we'll go ahead and switch back to my screens. And now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and rename my background into a mask, just so it's clear. And now a mask, rather than have the order 0, we want the mask to be on top of everything else. We'll go ahead and drag it on top of everything else. So it actually has now, right here, has an order number of 3. So now it's on top of everything else. And you'll notice that if I click on any of my screen divisions, I actually cannot select them because I'm actually selecting the mask. So if I wanted to modify something, I would have to actually go ahead and make my mask a little bit smaller, and then I could modify the size of the other screen divisions. But that's fine. I'm happy with the way everything is. So I'll just go ahead and again set my mask now to be full size. And go ahead and switch back to my campaign. And again click on my output SD5. So now you can see that channel 3 is on top of everything else because now it's a mask, it's not a background anymore. And I can go ahead and scroll down. And use my background that I've selected and go ahead and double click on it to review it. But notice that if we double click on my background, notice that my layout is now completely different. The layout does not match the layout that we drew earlier for my background example. So now what we need to do is go back to screens and draw a layout that kind of matches this layout right here. So we'll go ahead and switch back to screens. And we'll go ahead and draw our new screen division that should match my new mask. So we basically have something like this. And I'll go ahead and put my mask so it covers everything else. And switch back to my campaign and review my mask to make sure that it looks about right. And at this point you can test out your presentation, and you possibly may need to move your screen divisions a little bit to fix maybe possible bleeding from one resource to another screen division. But again, the beauty of this is, as I explained before, if for example you have a video that you want to hide the black lines or other resources, using mask is a much nicer way, a much better approach to this, because you have more room to play with the position of the XY coordinates of a resource, because you have the ability to hide a certain section where you cannot do that with backgrounds. So as you can see, you can achieve some pretty nice layouts with backgrounds and masks. Definitely take advantage of the pre-made resources we made available to you. Again, if I go back to resources and from shared, you can see some of the ones we have available, and you can see that this has masks right here that you can use to put resources, and you can actually even put stuff on top of these area right here if you want. So pretty flexible. I hope you enjoyed this, and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.